Hey everybody, this is Jessica Lynn from ArtistryInCards, and today I thought, you know what, let's draw and make a card live. I thought it would be fun. So while we are doing this, just a couple of things. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Let me just put up all that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel here on YouTube, which is just ArtistryInCards. And then don't forget to check out my rubber stamp store, which is jessicalynoriginal.com. All right, so let's draw. And during this whole thing, if you want to say hi, please do so in the chat. I will definitely respond to you. So I am going to be drawing a firefly in a jar. And I found it on a website where it's called Art for Kids. It's a fun little website. So I thought, you know what, I'll make my own original art. Well, I'll draw it. I am drawing with an ink pen, so we'll see how this goes. Cute little mouth. All right. And then what I'll do is I'm actually going to turn this into a card. Hopefully I gave him enough room. We'll find out. Here we go. Some cute little eyes. And if you've never seen this YouTube channel, when the video is done streaming, I will put a link to his channel. It's a really fun thing you can do with your kids. Just bring him his little head. I might not put my firefly in a jar. We'll see. Super cute. All right, we're going to give him his little body, I think is where we're going next. So kind of in the middle. There's a little glowy booty there. I'll zoom in a little bit more for you. There you go. All right, so some cute little antennas. Oh my gosh, super cute. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get her all colored up. So there she is. Cute. It's wet ink. So let's Boop, there it is. Super cute. All right. I'm just going to share this out. Just want to make sure other people know that we are crafting live. There we go. Perfect. All right. Again, don't forget to say hi over there on the right-hand side. It will show up with your comments so that I can respond to you as well. Other thing too is I absolutely love StreamYard. If you're thinking about it, you can actually go ahead and use this link. I'll just toss it in there, and you can actually get a 10% or $10 discount. So, but yeah, I'd love for you to say hi. You can see how that shows up on the right-hand side. I'll toss one more in there. You can see how that shows up. All right, let's craft. Normally I would use a brother scan and cut to cut her out, but I'm in the process of changing around my office, and I know I can't use that excuse too much longer. I'm going to have to just finish it, right? And then I'll be able to pull the brother scan and cut back out and be able to scan this and have a perfect whatever amount of an edge I want on this. There you go. So at the start of our time together, I started by drawing this adorable little bug. Couple of weeks ago, I did, actually about a week ago now, I did a whatnot auction. So if anybody knows what that is, it's like live auction sale. So it's like eBay, but live. eBay like this, right? I suppose. Um, and I actually went ahead and sold quite a few of my cards. So if you're interested in that, definitely, go through and follow along with me. And when you subscribe to my channel, you'll get notifications whenever I do stuff like that. So. All right, so let's find a cool background. I have a ton of stuff in here. Waffle flower, other ones, all kinds of dyes. This is kind of crazy, but I'm thinking maybe I should go with like a big brick. All right, we're going to do it. I think today is the day of going with your gut instincts. And then I have this really cool thing that I'll show you. Got this whole special little package from scrapbook.com. And it had like all kinds of little things and just a happy birthday. I might use that one too. So maybe I'll put, maybe we'll do some of those on here. I'll try that. We'll see if we can try the rub-on transfers. See if those are any fun. All right. So we're going to grab a sheet of paper. I always like it when I just have junk paper that I can just use. Then we're going to go ahead and use some of this masking tape. This stuff is super big and thick, but I have other stuff that I use sometimes too. Let's just get that on there. Probably too much, but that's okay. And then over here, we're just going to kind of... All right, so the idea I have is to maybe put him like there-ish. Now, this is an original drawing, so I don't have another version. So if I screw him up, I'm sort of stuck with him. Or, well, he doesn't have eyelashes. Doesn't mean it's not a whatever. But, all right, so we're going to use brown. And then what I want to do is find the yellow. I have a whole bunch of these distress oxides that just sort of hang out with me at any given time. We spent our weekend at the lake, and so my family is exhausted and chicken fried, which is fun. Welcome, welcome. If you are new here, glad to have you. All right, so let's go ahead and get this brick going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to think this is kind of where the bug's going to go. So I think I'm going to take one of my super Post-its. There you are. Right, that's a super sticky, yep. And what we're going to do is we are just going to go ahead. What I probably should do is just stick them on the back here. I'm just going to go slightly bigger than our bug. So I know about where our little bug is going to live. It'll make sense in a minute, I promise you. All right, so goodbye, hot pink, super sticky. I'm just going to go ahead and move this up just a little bit so that I can see the screen. There you go, while we're working. All right, so I'm going to peel my little bug off. Yay, that worked out beautifully. I got to figure out where I just peeled it off from. All right. Say right about there. And I did it backwards. Love it. That is the fun of doing this stuff live, right? You're working through it. So what I need to do is actually stick my bug this way, right? So that it's drawing side down. Luckily, just a little post-it note, so easy. All right, and I'll show you why this is important. This will be fun. Welcome, everybody that is here watching today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Couple of small things. Just remember, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. It's ArtistryInCards. And then don't forget to go ahead and take a look at my rubber stamp store, JessicaLynnOriginal.com. I would love to have you take a stop by, maybe purchase a couple of things and support a small business. Appreciate that. All right, so now it's going the right direction. So this is about where it's going to live. And I might say, why is that important? Because I'm going to start shadowing in where I want some yellow from his little tail. So we'll go ahead and we will start there. Ooh. So when I did my whatnot the other day, I had a lot of requests for birthday cards. And so I said, done, I can do that. I can definitely do that. So we're just going to kind of taper this off a little bit. There we go. So that'll be bright yellow booty. There we go. Just want to say thank you so much for stopping in. Glad to have you here. Be sure to go ahead and comment. I'd love to hear from you. What kind of cards have you been making lately? That would be fun to know. Been sort of doing a lot of digitals. I've also been drawing a lot of art. I'm going to be doing another series on here soon, sharing with you kind of my brain process. I'm excited because I want to, let's see, what's the right word? Similar to, we want to reinvent, right? So I've been the owner of Jessica Lynn Original for 20 years, which is crazy. Actually 25, which is it 20? I think we just hit a milestone. 20 years. Hold on. Yeah, 20 years. And it is time to evolve, I think. Not in a bad way, in a great way. You know, I've got a lot of ideas, and I think sometimes we don't sit down and take the time that we should to kind of flush those all out. And that's one of my goals. I want to sit down and flush some of these ideas out and figure out, you know, where exactly I want this company to go. So, you know, in its next evolution, if you will. You know, I always think of like, you know, the big singers and stuff. You know, they don't do the same music forever. They evolve, they change. And I think that's where we are. I think it's time to evolve and continue to offer some new things. And I don't know, I'm kind of excited about it. So for those of you watching live, I appreciate you. For those of you watching it on the replay, I appreciate you as well. I am currently looking to get to a specific number of hours. So if you are watching, I appreciate that. We're really close, and then I'll be able to offer some really cool new things for this rubber stamp company. So please go ahead and watch these videos, share them out to your friends. Obviously supporting small business isn't just about, buying products. It's also about, share out the social media, share it with your friends. If you're just hanging out and you're looking for something to watch the videos. That helps too. So, all right, where is the black? That's what I need now. Oh, there it is. Use a different brush. All right. We're just going to barely hit a little of that on there. Otherwise, it's too clean of a brick. Doesn't look believable. All right. All right, I think it's going to look great. Fingers crossed. Let's give this a minute to kind of settle. That's our little spot where our bug's going to go. Love it. Do, 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 do. All right. So while that is sort of settling for a moment, and I might come back in, and maybe I'll just do a little of the brown. Just a There we go. That should look fine. All right, so we're going to give this a minute to just settle off on the side. Then we're going to go ahead and color in this little bug. Super cute. Oh. Me either. Thanks, Olive, for stopping by. Appreciate you. I can't wait to see how this turns out, too. I think that's from Roblox, right? That's cute. All right. All right, so let's color this in. What does a firefly? What do they look like? What colors are they? They're kind of bumblebee-ish. Are they gray? So everything I see, they look kind of like they've got like a grayish body and yellow, obviously, on their little glow parts. All right, so let's get some colors for him. All right. Put my markers back behind me. These are any of the colors I'm probably going to use today, so if you are looking to know, this would be a great time to pause and take a screenshot. Whoop, there they are. All right, beautiful. Start with the lightest one. want something a little bigger to color with there. It's funny now, in person, it looks very gray. But because of the lights I'm using, you can't see it as much. So I'll zoom in a sec. Let me see if I can bring it down to you. Ooh, there it is. All right. All right, I think its little waist is gray, yeah. I remember as a kid they had those night glow bugs. Remember those? They're like the little pajamas. All right, so let me see if I zoom in a little. There, you can see that he's gray now. There he is. Okay. So that was a 3, so let's go up to a, what's this one? That's a 4 and a 5. All right, we'll build our way up. I think I'm going to use more of a different shade of gray for the wings that I won't use for the body. There we go. So they have what they call a warm gray and a cool gray. So we're going to use the warm gray on the body, cool gray on the wings. Ooh, that is dark. A little too dark for me. We need the lighter gray. Where are you? Nope, W9 is not what we need. That is a much, much, much darker gray. Colors that's brown. All right, well, we'll try these. We'll try these two. Maybe this one will. These Cali arts are kind of nice for blending in. Oh yeah, that'll be super. That'll be perfect. Then you might say, where the heck did I get this little bug? I actually drew it at the beginning of this session today. Just doodle drew up live. So if you are looking for one, when I am done sharing this video and it goes into replay, I will put a link to the other YouTube channel that shows you how to draw this adorable little bug. And then you too can draw your own little bug. All right. And then for the little butt, we are going to draw that bright yellow. What color is that? We'll start there actually. Almost perfect. Love this. And a little orangey to it. So it kind of has that glow. Okay, this is absolutely adorable. Now, in the video, they actually colored it into a jar, but I opted not to put it in a jar. My little bug is going to fly free and wish whomever a happy birthday. Oh my gosh, so cute. So I am going to go ahead and just trim this on up because I want these little lines right around just a little tighter. Unfortunately, with these little, really thin little antennae, I don't want to go too small. And last time I went live, I actually created a toothless card from How to Train Your Dragon. And I sold that card on Whatnot, which was fun. So I hope my buyer enjoys that card. And then I had like a bunch of requests to make more of it. So I might make some similar ones. All right, almost fussy cut it out all the way. There we go. All right. Oh my gosh, so super cute. All right, let's see how this brick dried. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. All right. Oh, that's cute. All right. We're just going to take that stencil off because we don't want it permanently on there. A lot of times I'll take baby wipes and just sort of clean off these. But I mean, just know, just like photopolymer stamps doesn't really matter because it won't destroy a stencil. I mean, the stencils are pretty thin, so they're only meant to be used anyway so many times before they don't work anymore. But it is all good. All right, goodbye, little sheet of paper. Let's get out my little Fiskars cutting. Just cleaning up here a little bit. So, there we go. Looks kind of like giraffe pieces there. All right. All right. So I think what we're going to do, because it's 4 this way, so I think we're going to trim off a little there. And we're going to go right there. Ah, I did it. Right? That always scares me when I do that. All right, and then we know it's 5.5, I believe, this way, or 5 and a little bit. So we'll take it off the bottom. I always hate this because see, this is the line, so this is like 1/4. All right, so let's see how that lines up pretty good because I want a nice little border. All right, we want to take off just one more tiny little bit. There, that should be perfect. Now, I am going to say, don't waste these pieces, right? Because you never know when this can make a really fun little border. So a lot of times, like if they're like this, I might keep them because sometimes that makes a really fun little card. All right. So now we get that all set. Cute. Love it. Nice little border. All right, so we are going to fold this card. Gonna raise this up just a notch. There we go. Okay. Nice and solid. There we go. Get this all glued up. This will look pretty darn good. Super cute. It's pretty great. Love it. All right. One thing I will suggest is on the back of your card, always stamp your signature or write your signature. One of the things that I have done lately, which I'm super excited about, now obviously at my store, let me just show that to you here. That is just jessicalynoriginal.com. One of the things I do is I make custom self-inking rubber stamps for the back of your cards. I got a couple orders I'm just catching up on, so those will be all set and ready to mail for tomorrow. But you can take a look, see how that looks. Super cool. And the best part is, and there's my autograph. So this is actually my handwriting, and then obviously I put a date in there. So every year I make myself a new one. So I highly encourage you. Put a little sun on the back of there. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my back of card. Boop, done. See how cool that looks? So there's my cute little back of card logo. And then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll actually put the date on here. And I do that because here on Artistry in Cards, if you want to come back and let's say you ended up going on my auctions when I sell my cards and you're like, oh, I bought this card. I wonder when she made it. You could actually see the date on the back. And then the cool part is you can actually go out to my YouTube channel here at Artistry in Cards and you'd be able to actually find that date because that's when it was published. So super cute. All right, so there's our little bug. Look how cute that looks, the little glow. That's going to look so awesome. All right. So the next thing we want to do, where's my happy birthday stamps? Get out a big old waffle flower happy birthday. And let's get that on there. I am a huge fan of all the different stamp companies. I love supporting small business. I think that honestly is one of the coolest things about working in this industry and being able to make cards or draw something original and then use that with everything I do. I mean, to me, that's just so much fun. So I love that. All right, let's see if I have a block big enough for this big old happy birthday. Yeah, that'll work. All right. This is a big old happy birthday. There is no denying what it's supposed to be. All right, see, and then I'm thinking just putting a big old happy birthday right there. All right. Perfect. Oop. Okay. And a lot of times I've been actually liking kind of double stamping. So you can see like I put the sun that I have on there and then I put my thing. It almost looks like a logo kind of. And I think that looks kind of cool. So I've been just playing around with that idea lately. All right. So we are going to just ink the big old waffle flower stamp up. So there's that big old happy birthday. All right. I apologize if I temporarily block the camera. Let's put him up there so I can see this. All right, I'm gonna move this up so you can see it. There we go. Let me just push down. I always get worried when they're huge stamps. Like there's not gonna be enough on there. What? Oh my god, that is gorgeous. I love it. I gotta get out the cleaner to clean that off because that full ink. I do like different fonts on there. I think that's really fun. Yeah, I gotta go clean that off. Where are my... Oh, such is the fun of being a crafter, right? All right, well, I'll have to find it later. I might just clean it down. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and we will get this little bug on here. Super cute. Where's my glue? There we go. And my original thought was to maybe put it up on the foam risers. But lately, I haven't been using my foam risers. I know they were a staple of my channel for a very long time. But the problem with them is when you ship. So when you ship stamps or cards and stuff like that. All right, let's just make sure we line our little bug all up. There we go. Oh my gosh, so cute. Look at that. Ah! See, its little butt glows right around. That's super cute. I love it. All right, I am going to take though. Where is my little brush? There we go. We're going to take a little of that yellow, which I believe is right there. And we are just going to touch this up right here. Because I don't want it too white right by its butt. There we go. I want it to feel like the glow is illuminating the card. Oh, that looks good. Super happy with that. All right. So not a difficult card to make, super easy, but look, I mean, how fun, right? I mean, super easy. So there it is. Happy birthday. And I love just the glow on the bricks. I think that let me just move this away, because if I move that, you can see it even better. See how it almost looks like he's lighting it up. But again, this is one of those things where, you could maybe go out and watch that video, and then you could have your child do it. Like, how fun would that be? Have your kid go and draw this main image for you, and then get one of your stencils out and stencil it up, add some brick, big happy birthday, and there's your adorable bug. I don't stamp a whole lot on the inside. Sometimes I do, but often I don't. And I will say I have some of these rub-on transfers. I kind of want to try one. I don't know. Would that wreck the card? Not sure. Oh my gosh, stop closing on me. All right. See, would that look cute? I think the glow bug's the only little glow lights. I just thought because those kind of look like glow lights, maybe. All right. Maybe I'll try another card with this one. Oh, it looks easy, though. All right, maybe we'll have to try this on another one. I'll put it all away. But what a cute little kit that is. So I will have to try this one later. All right. Well, there is our little bumblebee card. So a couple of things before we go. Don't forget, please subscribe to this channel. I'd love to have you come back and craft with me. Just ArtistryInCards.com. And then don't forget to visit my rubber stamp store, JessicaLynnOriginal.com. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you have an absolutely wonderful day. And if it is your birthday, happy birthday. Take care, everybody.